Hello everyone, good morning. It's Jiwin of GW Trading. I just got off a quick session this morning with a student and we talked about so many things and I just want to quickly do this video for the sake of those that actually are not opportune to be joining me on that session. Okay, I want to be doing this. Okay, so we're taking a look at VIX and how VIX was doing also last week. For 3 weeks now, we have seen VIX actually honoring this part here, and we saw last week how VIX actually did gyrate up here, but definitely VIX will want to sort of come in back down to look for more liquidity into moving up as I would want to expect it to. And but overall, we have seen that VIX is currently still trying to retrace. Okay, so this retracement can actually still further gave strength to the AUD, which we spoke about, and how everything's referring in the market. So we're looking at AUD actually moving more sideways this week. So we're very careful with how we approach it with the students and everybody back here in the academy. So we'll just be very careful with how we approach it. So, but today I'm going to make this presentation, and we thought about having a 7-day, but due to a very tight schedule and also a lot of engagement and also academic work, um, some other academy. So I would not to be hosting that 7-day again, but I want to take out this time to actually show you what I think of some pays. Basically, I want to be talking about the AUD this morning and also some of this pays. So I want to be doing this here this morning, and I'm looking at the Euro GBP. What I'm looking at on the longer term, okay, in terms of the Euro GBP, I'm looking at the Euro GBP actually coming up into testing this high here on the longer term. I'm looking at Euro GBP coming up to testing this high on the longer term. But how will we do that? So we're looking for a roadmap to how we will then approach this way in order to get into this zone which we want to see here. But definitely, this was a very clean structure in the market, and I would expect a retest of this zone possibly before we can then look to rally up to this zone one more time, because I'm looking at testing this zone and also testing this zone on the longer term. Okay, so what do I think, guys? Right now, hit the like button and also subscribe to this channel so that you can get videos such as this whenever I upload them and not to miss that video of mine. Okay, so we're looking at coming into testing this zone. So what is this zone? We need to actually come into drawing that line, because most of the time I don't like to draw these levels here because these are all psychological levels and are all in the mind. I like to speak about psychological levels and being in the mind. I don't basically teach my students how to aim at a particular level. Okay, I actually teach them to actually look at the market and then see whatever the market is presenting them and actually approach this in the right sense. Okay, so look at what we have here. So we expect a retest of this zone, and here it was a very strong zone here. So we're looking at the possibility and probability if we are going to come down into hitting this zone, and that is what we are going to be looking at this week. First, for last week, we had this sort of filling candle, bearish filling candle. We expect the next candle to try and come into filling this week, okay, possibly coming back into testing this previous structure, which was AKA support here on this axis here. So we're looking at possibly coming into testing this zone. So how do you approach this? So from the daily time frame last week, we also saw that we had a sell signal from here down back into this zone. And during the time which we spoke about this, right, we saw that price did indeed created a bit of resistance inside of this zone. So we're going to look at what happened there. So what happened there was that we had a little bit of resistance inside of this zone for last week, and if we go down to the H core to see how well this environment was faring, so we'll then understand that this was also a very key area in the market. But looking at everything technically, I would not want to really come into making that hurry decision into taking that hurry trade inside of this area unless we can then have a test or a fake out testing the highs of the daily ATR here, and only then we want to see a fake out, okay, breaking above daily ATR 52 pips, and we're looking at the breakdown here. You can then look to target this high as stop loss and all those things coming to the market. But what we want to be seeing, the Euro GBP actually making a high for the day and possibly making a high for Tuesday. So definitely, I'm looking at this way. I'm not to be taking any trade action at the moment, okay, until I can either hit this zone and then see a clear rejection candle, or also hit this zone. And then by the time I hit this zone, I will not be looking for that clear rejection candle. I'll just be putting a pending order here. Once I can break through this zone on Monday, and on Tuesday, I will look at taking a trade on this zone, because I will be believing that this will be the weekly high. And definitely, once I can have that weekly high, I would expect that here will be my take profit here. And all moreover, if I would expect something of this nature to come into the market also if we do not have this weekly high coming to test here and returning down here. So I will expect something more like a test here, return back to testing this support, and a retest of this on Tuesday. We will look to then short to the downside with the right risk to reward. All right, so that's what I think, guys. But overall, we cannot be taking any trade action at the moment because looking at everything, how it's faring in the market. We spoke about last week that the euro is more of sideways here and have started to move sideways from this is 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and 4th week for last week could not break this strong support here, but also could not break this strong resistance, which is 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks last week, and could not break. So inside 4 weeks, we have been inside sort of this more sideways move here. So we will not be looking to really do much here unless we can then hit this high, and that will be the only time we look to sell or to short the euro GBP. Okay, only way you can hit this high. But overall, looking at everything fair in the market, we also seen the GBP actually also making more of a sideways movement also, as well as we spoke about this last week, and we also see more sideways movement. So we cannot really be doing anything at the moment unless we can see more of the GBP stocks here early in the week, and we can have the euro actually make a rise into testing that high, and only that would then we look to short the euro GBP. But overall, we want to short the euro GBP to testing those zones and then going up again into testing the longer term high, which we spoke about in our last edition. So next we're looking at the euro card. Euro card, look at it technically. I want to be looking at the euro card technically. What happened with the euro card? Euro card for a while now. All right, for a while now, the last 2 years, euro card have spent the last 2 years actually consolidating. Okay, putting itself in more of an ending diagonal in the last 2 years. So this was actually 2018 to 19 spent the whole time inside of this ending diagonal. So what do you expect? After ending diagonal, we expect a break to the upside. We expect that long straight rally to wave 5. And if this could be wave 4, this could be WX, okay, Y and X, Z pattern. So we can expect this to be 0, so this 1, and we can expect our 2 to form that pattern there. So we expect a big rally up to here to form with 5, and that's what we expect to see on the longer term from the euro card. But overall, we have seen that the card is actually currently getting strong now. So we cannot be taking any trade decision as to buying here. So, but definitely we'll be looking at this key level here. If we can have a test of this key structure here over time, we will then look to take a reaction of that point. Only then we will look to buy the euro against the card aggressively to meeting that target. So what do we have here? So, but we can look to be taking the short trade as we spoke about before, that euro card is sort of in a bullish flag. Okay, we have euro card actually turning inside of a bullish flag, so we can actually be taking this advantage. If we can have a test early in the week on, so we can look at taking that trade which we spoke about from last week, that we don't want to be buying the euro against the card, but we want to be shorting the euro against the card to actually complete that bullish flag into testing back the 1.5400 level. So from that point on, we then look for some sort of setup into going long and testing this high, and also breaking forward to testing the high which we want to be seeing. And overall, what are we seeing? So basically, before we will be taking this trade action, or we'll be taking this trade, we'll be then taking a bit of glance at what the card is also doing in the market. And I spoke about the card actually strengthening, and I would not really be looking to short any pay against along any pay against the card for whatsoever reason in the world. So I'm looking at how the card is actually faring, and what the card is doing at the moment. Card is actually still doing a rise. So we're looking at these key areas to believe that the card can actually take a beta from this point on, and once that could happen, that will be the only time we look to take advantage of whatever is happening with the card. Okay, we can also have the card coming to test the structure, because definitely we saw how card was also faring. Card did break above the structure, and on retest, I think card has a long potential to still make a move to the upside. So I think for the euro card buy, okay, I think we'll have to wait for a more suitable entry when we have the card coming to test this zone. So we can expect a more sideways market for card. For that to happen, then that will be awesome to see, and we'll be really glad to take that trade off that point. So looking at everything technically, what we think that the card will possibly go up. Okay, we also not want to trade the AUD this week against the CHF. If you can have a test of this zone, that will be when we can put a sell here, because definitely I am looking at the VIX still trying to correct back to that support which we spoke about earlier on this video. So if that is happening, we can actually see the card AUD actually still try to get some momentum, also testing some stupid areas which I don't want to be involved. So I don't basically want to be involved in some credit trades, because overall we've seen AUD actually sitting on this strong support area, which have been very far back 3 weeks ago, with 4 weeks, 1, 2, 3, and also 4 here. So we don't want to be taking any action unless we can have the AUD coming in to test this structure, and only then we will look to short the AUD. But overall, we can then look for a 20 potential in the AUD JPY to also long this play, possibly to testing this high here. Because overall, what we want to be speaking about is that we want to be speaking about that the JPY is actually going to still see more weakness coming into the market this week. But first, we want to see that the JPY actually would then honor and then come into this zone which we spoke about, and then reverse. So we're looking at the JPY actually trading in some sort of channel such as this, but this will not really price us up, because definitely if this is coming down, this means that the JPY is actually getting strength. So we're looking at when we hit this level, that will be the only time we look at the JPY weakness coming into play, because the LFS JPY going up means that the JPY is actually weak, and coming down means JPY is strong. So we're looking at, once we have a test of this zone, we can then look to actually go long on GBP JPY, and also every play with the JPY also as well. So that's what I think of the week. And earlier in the week, what do I think of the CHF? I spoke about the CHF that the last time we had a break on the CHF, that I want to see the CHF actually still take more of a breather because of last week's structure, how last week actually ended. I want to see the CHF actually rest a little bit before then gathering momentum into moving up as to where it wants to see. So we want to see CHF in this week coming into testing this zone, and only then we'll look to then test the high, which is 61.87 sales before then the drop. I want to speak about this. I want to talk about this, why I want to see it in my last year report analysis, which I did with the students, and I believe everyone still remembers what I said about that. So that will be all for today. I wish you a very successful trading day, and remember to always plan your trade before you can then trade your plan. Always keep your head up, and always remember that the market doesn't respect what you're saying. Market can always do anything it wants to do, anytime, any day. And this video can, as always, provide insight as to what you want to be doing, and not really a direction of what you will do. Okay, so we're just giving you guys on what you can do, on what we think of the market, and how the market will then move possibly, and how everything will be done in the market. So possibly that's how we approach this day with the students over here. And we're looking at announcing when we'll be on for the 7-day training workshop again, and we'll let everyone know about it. Have a wonderful trading day. God bless you.